Well, do you know what? You've all sided with Radu. I'm going to say AKAWonder's going to take this one, just so it's a little bit even on the sofa here as we're going to start game number 1 right away. It's going to be the Druid versus Warlock.
You're talking to George C. earlier. He was saying you keep Gul'dan against everything. You know, aggro, anything. You just always keep it. Best card in your deck.
But that's wrong.
This is going to be a different casting experience.
I'm never quite sure how much George C is trolling when he says half of the stuff that he says, because dude's really smart, but then some of the things that come out of his mouth just sound incredibly dumb. I don't know how to connect that stuff.
Interesting, by the way, that this is an aggro druid, right? Because that's not a given.
Right, I was going to ask the question, like, are we going to see Jade druids, big druids, aggro druids? Like, what's going to be the dominant druid?
Aggro druid is going to be the most preferred one.
Which deck does my Corridor Creeper fit in best? That would be the question that I'm asking myself as I come up with my lineup. I guess the answer's any deck, really.
But it's a little bit interesting because Warlock is so strong in the format that you need something that beats Warlock, right?
Yeah.
So if you're bringing the aggro druid, you need either the mage or the Warlock to be good against Warlock, right? So you either build like some Warlock that's really good in the mirror, or you think that aggro mage beats Warlock, which it doesn't.
Gonna have some strong opinions on the casting couch today, aren't we? All right, so who would you guys say is the favorite in this matchup then? The aggro druid versus the Warlock. Can the Warlock like stabilize and heal himself back up in time, or is the druid just gonna stomp?
Yeah, I mean usually like the Warlock can kind of just like clear boards all day. Yeah, that's usually just like what happens. They can try to play living mana, but you know you have the other board clears. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, the Warlock just has too much AoE. Between like Defiles, Hellfires, and if they live that long, Twisting Nether, plus the ability to just cheat out a Void Lord at any given point. Like, it's so hard. Like, the aggro druid has to go like 1/1/1 buff in like the first 2 turns, and then there isn't a clear for that on like Hellfire on turn 4, and then you just kill him on 6. Like, that's about how you're going to win. If it gets past that point, you've probably lost.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Warlock is probably just favored versus just about anything that isn't like specifically tailored to beat it.
Wow.
Priest?
Well, that's banned.
Oh,
Sure, okay. I mean,
But
I
Priest
thought you were
wins
talking like metagame-wide.
Priest just wins against Warlock
every
time.
All right.
I mean, it's a strong word. You know, there's always a chance you can lose, but like, Priest wins.
Do you expect that a little bit later on we'll start to see some Warlock bans today?
No, because
you have
the
to
people
ban,
who
you have to ban Priest.
the people who are banning Priest have made their lineup like that. So, but I expect that some people have went for the ban Warlock strategy for sure.
It's already looking pretty rough for RDU here. He didn't quite get one into buff. He's got some more 1-drops ready to go. He's got Power of the Wild.
He's like, his board is tough to clear, but it's not dealing much damage, right? So he's that's like a huge issue. It's much better to just have the aggressive and just try to kill him. Hope they don't have the AoE early. So it's not really what he wanted this one.
Living mana on 5. Hopefully AKAWonder will already have used the Hellfire.
Yeah, I don't think you can Savage Roar here, right?
I like
to burst.
Yeah, I like how he's just dead to this creeper. Like, how does he get through it? He has to burn a roar. Yeah, that doesn't feel great.
You mean Radu is dead?
Yeah, he's just dead. Yeah. He like coined the 1/6 just so he can try to have like a thick boy on board, but
it doesn't deal damage, right?
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't do anything. And they played a creeper, and like it just doesn't do anything.
That 3 attack on Radu's turn, just pretty big wall.
Hellfire seems reasonable, right?
Yeah, seems fine.
Does mean it's being used up before the living mana comes down, though. So AKAWonder's going to have to try and pick up another taunt or a way of removing that sooner or later.
But after your living mana, you can't play Savage Roar, right? So he has time to play the 4/5.
Exactly.
That's also that's already like a 7 damage spellstone as well.
Because he kobolded and hellfired, right?
Yeah.
So he's already fully upgraded. Yep.
Yeah, that card is lit.
Yeah.
Spellstone.
It's very literature.
It's lit.
It's pretty good. Better fireball with lifesteal.
I will say that the newer builds of the Warlock is, like Spellstone, is less good because you have less procs for it. So,
but the card's still good.
Yeah, exactly. It's still good, right? Like that's when you know a card is truly good, when you only need like, you have like 4 cards in your deck that activates it, and it's still just really, really good.
So what are the differences between the newer builds and the older builds then? Things are moving so quickly.
You hit people for 20 with Doom Guards with the new build.
You're talking Cube Warlock, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cube block.
Yeah, and then there's just the difference between like playing Lackey and the iterations where you don't play Lackey.
Right.
I believe that you can still run the non-Lackey list. Like I think some people still think that that's a good list because you can just play more demons.
Okay.
Sorry, I just love Crane speak. Some people think that that's a good list.
But they're just...
That might include myself. I don't want to give away
Sure.
my own share.
Sure.
I guess
he doesn't play the 3/2. Okay. He
guess
wants
you
to
guys-
buff the living mana.
you guys have got to be
That'll
pretty
never
careful
happen.
as you cast because we're going to be trying to get information from you. And
Maybe we'll start misleading them.
yeah,
That is
That's
actually
a
the
great
play.
idea.
That is
Oh,
the
I
play.
played that card as well.
Yeah.
yeah, I play Yogstar on all of my decks, of course.
So now the preemptive 4/5 man from Wonder actually shuts down Living Mana because he'd just be developing Living Mana into it and then just get nuked by Defile, which would be insane. Like even Living Mana just walks into Defile here anyway because there's the 2/1 on the board. I really like playing this just in advance, just dropping the 4/5.
Like, what does RDU do?
Well, he's just trying to see cards, I think.
Yeah.
Like, actually, he might get some useful information if AKAWonder has to play the Homunculus, because that's a big tell that you're not running the Lucky list, and which also means you're not running the Cube list, right? Like, so this is, like, AK is actually a little bit behind on the meta, I would say, if he's still running Homunculus. I don't think that's where we're going with the Warlock.
Was there time before submissions? Like, was Cube Lock a thing while submissions were open?
No. Wasn't it
It
a
was
thing
like-
yesterday?
Yeah, that's such a shame. Just blew up recently.
Well, I think
It was
I
out.
think people at like the Sydney Major were messing around with it because like Eloise found it on the Asia server or something.
Cube Lock
and
was out.
Yeah. Okay.
There was even a post on Twitter about it.
You'd have been pretty brave to have just jumped on that bandwagon and brought it straight to this tournament, don't you think?
Right.
It's kind of brave not to bring it as well, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Good heads up from
Oh!
RDU. RDU trades the 2/1 to play around the Defile, so there isn't the 1 damage Defile proc on the board. But it doesn't matter because Wonder just rips a second Dreadlord. Like
It wouldn't have mattered anyway, right? The Defile would have dealt 1 damage to everything, and then the Despicable Dreadlord would have
Right.
finished the
I
job.
mean, newsflash, he did not need this 4/5.
No,
Yeah.
he
It was
just
fine.
I know, but it looks more disgusting, you know?
Yeah.
Look, how does he, like, he just can't win. Look at this.
This is where RDU is like, oh, you ripped that. Just do it.
Competitive
Yeah,
Hearthstone
look, I can
is
see him smiling.
it's all about making your opponent feel bad, and that's
Oh,
what
absolutely.
that top deck did.
That's why we play Hearthstone, right?
Yeah, just
You're always-
crush people's souls.
You're always waiting for, like, a recent opponent would like to be your friend.
That's why you play Ant. Come on, you're meant to be such a lovely guy, and
I just like to get flamed sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah. There's all this, positivity in my life. I need to get the negativity somewhere.
By the way, if we think about the Power of the Wild, I don't know if you noticed when I mentioned, he didn't play the Power of the Wild. I think he should have played Power of the Wild. I think he could have killed the first 4/5 right away if he had done so. And maybe it somehow would have been different. I mean,
Just jam it as a 3/2, right? That's what you're saying, or the buff?
I think it was very weird that he didn't play because he had like a living man on 5 maybe,
Yeah.
but you don't just necessarily get to Power of the Wild something to turn after.
it would have made the game go on for a little bit longer. But just look at what Aka's got in his hand now. I don't see any way Radu gets through this wall, even without the Despicable Dreadlords being there.
I like that Dire Mole's like a good card, right? It's like 1/3 beast. Good card.
His name is Hans. All right.
It's good in very select decks, though, right? It's not like, you just jam this in your aggro rogue instead of the Firefly, because it doesn't do the same thing, right?
All right.
But in Hunter,
Radu is done
Yeah,
with this
there you go.
game. You mentioned a few moments ago maybe he was just trying to see cards there. This is last hero standing, so that is relevant.
I mean, when you have a living mana in hand, you're always trying to win, because everybody who's played aggro druid knows that sometimes living mana just gets there.
Yeah. Even if you don't have it in your hand, a lot of the time you just have to keep playing, right? Because you can just rip living mana.
Yeah.
Living mana is very, like, if you don't have something to put in front of it, or you don't have the AoE, that's a lot of damage. So
It's funny when you're streaming and like playing an aggro druid deck, and then like your chat's like concede, this game's over. You're like, I mean, I could draw a living mana and win.
Yeah.
yeah, it's always that, right? It's almost
Exactly.
always that. I can draw living mana. And if you're playing against aggro druid, it's the same. You're like sitting there pulling your hair like, don't draw living mana, don't draw living mana. Or if you draw the first living mana, you have to clear. Oh, don't draw the second. It's very often like that.
All right, Radu going to give the mage a shot. to take
Whoa!
Quest Mage. Okay.
Radu, you gamer.
Now, this is
But
interesting.
this makes sense.
It
right?
does, yeah. With the
Because-
lineup, yes, it does.
Now,
Makes
there's
sense.
this new combo mage deck, which basically has the Quest Mage combo, but without actually using the quest.
Yeah, the one that's worse.
It's
The
just,
one that's
it is
worse?
just,
Okay.
The one
Well,
that's just
Some people
worse.
say.
You answered my following question. All right, okay.
So the problem is you never get to cheat that second turn with the new version, and that's how you get yourself out of a lot of sticky situations. Like, if the combo works, it doesn't matter which one you're playing, right? Because the combo has worked.
It's also that you can't start doing like some of the like you have to do everything at the end.
Yes.
You have to draw all the
Yeah.
stuff, then you have to play the 4/5.
Yeah.
Like who's gonna give you time to play a stupid 4/5? It has to be like everything has to go really well for you. Whereas with the old version, you can like do everything from okay, you have like played one of your completing your quest, and then you just start going with the apprentices, right?
Yeah.
Like you can just with the Kabbalist tomes and stuff.
Right.
We've all lost that game, right? Where they had like 0 on the counter or something, and you're like, oh, okay, he's got 12 cards left in his deck. Boom, boom, boom.
So this matchup, obviously much better for Radu. That's why he queued it. But is there any chance that there'd be a Rin lurking around in AKAWonder's deck?
There's
Yeah.
okay.
100%. No, 100%.
There might be. Yeah, I mean, there very likely is.
100%. All right.
But your chances of playing Rin, killing Rin, and then playing all the seals before
Yeah.
Quest Mage draws their entire deck is
Yep.
approximately 0.
Oh,
You might have to siphon it or
Yeah.
kill it some way.
yeah.
Like, but the reason why I say it's 100% is that he's running the Homunculus version. Like, if you want to have a chance to win the mirror, this version you need to have
Fair.
Rin, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't see what else he would have in his deck. And I don't see, like, you would not be okay playing a Warlock mirror, right? Without having a way of winning it.
Yeah.
Free AI. Delightful.
Yeah, I mean,
What a card babbling book is.
one of the better cards that you can get in this matchup for sure.
We won't even mention the polymorph meme. That's way dead at this point.
What?
That's just how oblivious Crane is. Don't worry about
The
it.
little guy just wants to cast a spell.
Did something happen at World Championship once? I don't know. Another Arcane Intellect.
Yeah,
Look at-
remember that,
That might
thing
be
about
one too many.
being able to Rin before they draw their deck?
Okay, I see your point. See your point.
It's pretty much in his hand already. He's got the whole thing.
You can kind of like run out of hand space if you get too many cycle cards from random effects. Like I don't know if the second AI wasn't one too many. If you think about how much, like if you ever play Quest Mage yourself, you do get in these spots where you have like hand size issues, and especially if you get the cycle this early, because you don't have the mana to just get rid of like
That's true.
multiple
Right.
cards. So
Because there's
it can
like
actually be awkward.
there's like simulacrums that stick in your hand. There's like the freeze effects that you're waiting to use for the right spot. You can have an ice block up and have another ice block in your hand, so you just end up with a ton of cards that you can't use.
But I think if you're experienced, you'll work it out.
This is
Not
fine
play
for
the
Radu
second
now anyway.
AI.
He just doesn't need to play it. He can just
Yeah.
Blizzard next turn or Frost Nova and then Polymorph and just play everything else bit by bit and then Arcane Intellect when he's got the hand space.
Hang on. Saying that, I really hope Radu's put some practice into this deck, because I've just remembered G2 brought this deck to Trinity Series and did not know how it worked at the most basic functional level.
They still won like 3 games against us.
Yes, they did.
No,
'Cause
they
their
played
cards were in the right order. Yay, Quest Mage!
I'm actually still a little bit tilted about the game where we play Honda against them, and then they just keep ripping polys on our high mains.
It's one of these decks that people just believe that they can play without practicing it, because Zixo was the same in China. He played the deck, didn't do very well with it, and then afterwards said, oh, I've just never played the deck before.
I will say, like, the people, like the environment in the China tournament was that people had already thought one step ahead. They were like, okay, so people are probably going to have the mage sucks anyways. They'll just have quest mates to try and beat these decks, so we put dirty rats on our decks, right?
Right.
And it's that's like how fragile quest mage is. The matchups where you're like, oh, I'm just going to win this every time. Oh, they have a dirty rat. Oh, I'm unfavored.
Yeah. yeah.
Easy.
I mean, there's things that you can do, like, you know, like Simulacrum, your Antonitis, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, like,
That's not easy, though, is it?
it really isn't easy, but it's, you know, sometimes people just don't see those kind of things.
Yeah. And otherwise, you just have to, like, sit holding, like, a Cold Light or a Novice in your hand just to give yourself a 50-50 that Dirty Rat doesn't wreck you.
But then you're also making your deck worse by
Yeah.
playing it like in it like less well.
Right.
So you become way less favored, and it's like it's just very uncomfortable to play against a deck with dirty rats when you're playing Quest Mage. Speaking of things that are uncomfortable, playing the Warlock side of this matchup.
Yeah, Aka's not having the best time right now, is he?
I mean, he doesn't really get to play the game, you know?
Yeah. Master Okada. That's what I tried to do in the beginning. Like I do think like the Master O card combo in this deck is pretty powerful, but they're just more broken things to do.
Yeah,
I agree.
Because then you have like 3 9-mana cards in your deck, unless you only play the one Void Lord and then maybe Rin. It's like then you have 2 3 attack minions you can pull.
Yeah, I think in the Sydney Invitational, like a lot of people brought Master O card, and then by the end of it, everyone's like, "Yeah, this card sucks. Why are we playing it?"
I think it is good. I just think that there are better things to do, right?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
I really don't think it's bad. It's just not the best option, right?
It's another card that adds a lot of difficulty to playing as well, because you have to, when you play it, remember, have I used the Tar Creepers? Have I used the Homunculuses? Have I used the Void Lords? Do I have Rin in my deck? There's a lot to think about before you drop that card.
Meanwhile, Radu has auto this game. From this point, he has an Ice Block in his hand, he has another Freeze, he has a Sorcerer, a Simulacrum, a Molten Reflection, he has more Draw, he has an Antonidas, he has literally everything.
Yeah, he can even pull off the Simulacrum now.
Yep.
Which is always kind of nice, because...
He just needs to not fall asleep. Yeah. Something like that.
So, like, Nova block Simul this turn.
He needs to not burn the quest somehow.
Exactly.
I need to get Cold Light out of his
Well,
first, right? Yeah.
Wait, what? No, Simulacrum, they cost 2 and 3.
It's cost 2, yeah.
So that's fine. That's why you want to do it now, so you don't draw like a cheaper minion.
Yeah, you're right.
Get some awkward stuff. I mean, maybe there's Stonehill in the Warlock for Durians.
I mean, see,
It's
that.
possible. Like that's an out. Right?
Stonehill's really good in Warlock now.
It's gotten a lot better because
the pool got pretty dank.
Yeah, like now you have Rin, you have Void Lord,
yeah,
a couple of good ones. Even the Homunculus, right?
As well, yeah.
Quite a buff, yeah.
And it's still... I don't think everybody will run it. Spoiler alert.
Well, I could better be hoping that he is right now. Though, if you're running Master Oakhart, that can pull out Stonehill Defender. So.
Good point. He's going Cold Light. It's kind of weird.
Just Cold Light block, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah, I would have to be more like in tune with exactly the game from his point of view to say whether I like that or not. He probably thought about it.
Yeah, I would hope so.
I mean, it's fine. He still needed his 4th apprentice from that point, right? So he had to draw at some point.
It's just that now, like, you draw the 2 mana cost card, you can get awkward. Exactly. That's why I was leaning towards the Simul, but...
I think it's still fine.
Yeah. But what's the downside of playing Colette next turn instead? Maybe maybe you can get like more draws for a freeze.
Yeah,
probably that would be one thing I could think about.
I don't know. I just like doing the Simulacrum as early as possible, especially how you said it gets awkward with other cheap minions.
Because like that's how you can potentially lose games like this. Is that somehow things get awkward. You keep drawing 2 mana cost cards like Doomsday at the wrong time.
Yeah. What do you think goes through like Aka's head? Like, oh, how do I not die? Because I'm pretty dead, but how do I not die?
You just gotta like you just hope that the quest mates makes a mistake or that Tony's like too deep or something.
Something like that.
His hand clocks like I talked about earlier.
Honestly, the hand's really full at this point, and you haven't seen them cast Tome yet. So maybe your out is that they just burn quest with Kabbalah's Tome. Like that might just be the highest percentage play for you.
Isn't that just a horrible position to be in as well? Like, you have to keep playing.
I mean, remember when I said that like competitive Hearthstone was all about making your opponent feel terrible? that makes Quest Mage the quintessential competitive Hearthstone.
Wait, he has 10 cards. Right? He has 10 cards now. So this is what I was talking about with the cycle. But he also just has the combo, so it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, so he has absolutely everything.
It's like the game is over, But like say that was a Doomsayer. What card would he... I guess you could play the Doomsayer. Yeah.
Is there any way this can go wrong for Radu now?
Now not. Now not, right?
No way.
Because he even has an AI that will cost 0.
Yeah.
I guess he needs to finish the quest, but the AI is...
Yeah, I'm actually not sure what number the quest is on.
I think it's 5. 4.
4? Oh.
It was 4 like a long time ago.
Yeah.
It's fine, we don't need that. Yeah, he just goes off here, and he's so incredibly favored.
That's game over.
Yeah. Triple Pyroblast off Tome.
Well, he still needs to not hit like... Yeah, exactly.
What if he...
The AI is also generated, right? That's the generated AI from Book?
No, he used that already. No, that's a real AI.
Deck of Wonders.
Deck of Wonders.
That could go
Oh,
horribly
no.
wrong.
Dude, that's
No.
actually went wrong, right?
Yeah, that's...
Because he needs to have 1 mana spare. So, but the poly is created.
And again,
so
he
it's fine.
didn't have to do it that way because you never do it that way. You can never have to do it that way. You can always save a reflection for after
Yep.
to proc your Antonidas.
But he needs to complete the quest first.
Yep. Which makes sense doing it this
Oh
way
my
because he needs to
God.
discount the
Oh, no, this could go really
This
bad.
can
What do,
go
what do you
wrong.
mean he could save 1?
So under normal circumstances, you
God.
have enough mana to only have 3 apprentices and then play quest, and then the next turn you use your last Molten Reflection to proc your Antonidas.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sure.
This can be really bad, right? The deck of
Could you
Wonders
do that
hitting
now?
like a AOE or
Well,
something.
he
Yeah.
needed to discount his tone
Volcanic
as much
Potion.
as possible
Yeah.
to reduce the odds.
Cataclysm.
Fuck. Oh, yeah, it can be any spell, can't it? Not just
Yeah.
mage.
Could deal damage to
Oh.
himself.
Oh.
Oh.
Where's it going? It's hit the
Hey,
Silver
sorceress.
Apprentice.
Oh!
No way!
Oh my God.
That would be a good reason to have taken another block
I
turn.
mean, we knew it could go. We could see it could go wrong, and
Well, Radu.
can he still
This
come
is-
up with the damage?
This is why I play Hearthstone.
He's got 18, right? He's got 18 damage this turn if he wants it.
Oh yeah.
So he might be fine anyway. But the Spellstone is in Aka's hand.
So how many he will get? He'll have 2 fireballs at the end of this turn. Or,
He can draw first, right, with the Arcane Intellect.
He used both
Yeah.
moons.
Oh,
though,
but there's
right?
the deck. There's the Deck of
There's
Wonders.
the
Oh,
Deck
yeah,
of
that
Wonders
too.
again.
It could go right as well, though.
So
Mind
he
Blast.
needs-
Sure?
I mean, he needs to
Sick.
He has
needs
to
to use it, right, to be
Right.
beating.
Oh, he plays 3 fireballs first and then draws.
Exactly,
And hopes that he
yeah.
gets an AOE or something.
exactly.
Well, just hopes that the 2 fireballs he ends up with in hand.
Or it can be like Hellfire.
Yeah, exactly.
Be anything.
An
I've,
AOE,
Yeah.
face damage, a swipe.
I've gotten Call of the Wild.
It's a deck of wonders.
He has to decide if he's playing it. Oh my goodness.
This is what I like to see.
You have to play, right? You need to
You need
All
the
right.
extra
have 2
fireball.
fireballs.
Yep.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay, that's interesting.
No.
Oh
wait.
Well, it didn't say.
Okay.
Oh, come on.
Oh! No, he has enough mana for double fire.
But
But he's dead.
he just dies.
oh,
he's
he
dead.
drew
Got
1 more.
One health.
Yeah.
He's got the Ice Block up. Aka's
Yeah,
actually
you
going to
see?
win this game.
Yeah, I wasn't Monka S-ing because of the spell effects. I was Monka S-ing because he was drawing his entire deck.
Yeah, me too, but I thought he had 1 more.
And I'm looking at
It's
a
the easiest
very-
game of AKAWonder's life.
very awkward smile
did-
from RDU
Wonder.
over there.
He just didn't even do anything.
Wonder, mate, just press the button. just press the button. You're good.
That's how it is, right? It can always go wrong.
Oh, man. Well, with Deck of Wonders, it can absolutely always go.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh
He figured
my
out the line.
goodness. I actually cannot
Found
believe
the
what we just
lethal.
watched.
That was great.
That was very
I
exciting.
love it when Questmates loses, actually.
Same.
Great. Game 2 of the day, and we've already made Trollden.
So what if he just like took another turn to block there? Does he
That-
have more like because he overdrew a Kabbalist Tome, right?
Right.
Yeah.
He probably could. He had the Ice Block up. He could have waited. He had a
Still
fireball
need
in
to
hand.
spend 1
afterwards.
mana on the second, but sometimes you would want to do spend 1 mana on the second Kabbalist Tome, right, to get a better roll. I don't know. Most likely he misplayed.
You'd have to do a lot of maths very, very quickly to work out if you could possibly have the damage from the Deck of Wonders to kill him. Like how likely you are. It's like Yogg all over again.
Well, the problem is when you have a deck that like solves games when they create 100% won situations, you generally don't want to introduce variance into that
Yeah.
situation, right? You wanna find the line that's 100% guaranteed.
Tell that to Kabbalist Tome.
But that's why I'm thinking like maybe just blocking an extra turn was even higher.
Yeah, I think so.
It's interesting. Like if there's some people at home who like always like playing Quest Mage,
Disguise Toast.
really
Tell
good
us the play.
players,
Come on.
they'll probably cringe at something. But
No.
Radu is like not a Quest Mage player per
to-
se, right?
Toast tells you to play the tome or the deck of wonders every time, no matter what.
That's true.
Well, AKAWonder suddenly a huge favorite for this series.
But
Radu is running Stonehall Defender though.
yeah,
It's also running Ooze.
yeah.
Expecting
But
all the cube
that's
block, I guess.
yeah, exactly. Like that's maybe a heads up to the cube block and
Alaneth.
Alaneth.
Alaneth, yeah.
yeah. So Ooze probably a good tech.
Yep, I would have expected.
So, yeah.
I think if submissions was like 1 or 2 days later, we would have seen a lot more Ooze.
I think even just 1 day. Yeah.
So, does this somehow end up being a tempo matchup for
No.
the time being?
No.
Well,
No.
no.
Okay.
Well, Radu is...
Good talk.
It's interesting because Aka has the Master Oak card, and I expect that Radu doesn't have that in his deck because he's got the Stonehill Defender. So
But he has Lackey,
he's
right?
got Lackey, which
And
can
the
pull something
Ooze.
out.
You don't play Oak Heart if you have Lackey.
No,
So-
sure.
But actually, none of these things matter in the mirror. Like, the only thing that matters is either fatigue or if you have Rin, or maybe the cube, because the cube you can kill people.
Yeah, you just can't stick a board in this matchup because they'll find a Defile clear, they'll find Hellfire, like they'll find some way to shut down your early pressure.
The 3/9s
It's
just
not happening.
don't kill you fast enough.
Exactly.
You can just
Yeah.
kinda,
Yeah.
I don't know. Somehow they just never get there, even though they're really tough to clear and stuff. It doesn't matter. There are too many taunts and too few like proactive tools from the other side. So maybe Aka is just wanting playing like exactly the list that we had at Trinity. Looking at this so far.
It's not impossible. He's already like tapping and stuff too, so like he might just be looking for Rend or something along those lines.
Well, Trinity is going to be one of the best tools that a lot of the players here have had for research. As the first big tournament of this expansion, I expect everyone here will have watched it or at least looked up all of the deck lists.
Yeah, I mean, you heard Chucky talking about the HS replay stats of Corridor Creeper, right? Like, before they showed Corridor Creeper, there was a few hundred Corridor Creepers played, and then it turned into like 6,000 or 7,000 or whatever he said. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah, now I feel bad for calling that card bad.
The Lackey-
Good, bad, and oh.
No, the Corridor Creeper.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. I was like, this thing sucks.
You
7
look at
mana.
it and you're like 7. From 7 to 0, that's some way, but
You're like, oh,
No, it's
Yeah.
turn 3,
it's got to be in my hand before it starts discounting? I don't like that.
Stupid.
Yeah,
Why
Knight
would I
of the
play
Wild
that
sucks.
card?
This card must suck too.
yeah.
Even the art looks disgusting. Like, oh man.
Just a giant throbbing worm.
I didn't know what it was. Like I didn't I didn't craft it for my collection before or after the first day of Trinity because like none of us knew what it was.
Yeah.
I've heard a couple of people actually like disenchanted it when they opened it.
Yeah, probably.
Well, there are people complaining that they disenchanted Spirit Singer Umbra now because apparently there's Cube Lock.
I probably did that at some
I
point.
probably did it as well.
Yeah. Shame on us.
Yeah, now we're stupid.
Yeah, we needed that something new card that isn't playable. I don't know which one, but we needed that Master O card, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, shame on us.
So...
Oh,
That's the third Void Lord.
that's a big boy.
Yeah, not big enough.
Not thick enough.
Nope.
It is a
Not
big
anything
boy, though.
enough. It is, but it just stops any type of aggression with like the aggro decks.
Ooh,
Jeez.
that's a nice one.
But that's weird, right? Because that means he's not playing Rin.
Right.
It's odd that we haven't seen a run from AKAWonder yet either.
Maybe he is
Yeah.
playing both actually, and he just assumes that his opponent will also Rin him, and then he shuffles one more card into his deck.
Oh, now you're thinking.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go.
And that one
That's
card,
very powerful. Right?
that one card will be another release.
Every
You get
time.
another pack. And
Every
you
Yeah,
just keep going.
absolutely. Figured it out.
That's how you beat Ren.
At least it's a good meme.
I wonder if...
Shut up.
That's what I'm saying.
Ah, there it is.
Yep.
Well,
Crane said
I'm
100%
not
2 games
gonna.
ago.
I'm not gonna make the joke. You're not gonna hear it from me at any point this weekend. It's already played out. I'm sure Falco. It's the kind of joke he likes.
What?
I'm waiting for it. I don't know
Yeah, I
what he's
wanna
talking
hear it
about.
now.
Okay.
Settle.
All right. Fine. I mean, I've just said I wouldn't, so now I'm locked
I
out.
don't even,
Yeah,
I don't even know what the joke is.
I'll have to tell you off camera.
All right.
Yeah.
If I suddenly come up with a very funny Rin joke next time I'm casting, then you'll know why.
How deep are they in the decks? He probably has time to finish the seal.
Yeah,
Right?
it's pretty soon.
Yeah, this is...
He's like tapped once, right?
He's 5 cards ahead.
Yeah, there's 20.
Yeah.
That is hand of 15.
But
everyone.
that's how it works, right? Like if you have Rin anyways,
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't matter.
it's just
yeah.
better to tap, right?
Mm-hmm.
The only downside is the damage you take, not the cards you lose.
Unless if you know the other guy doesn't play Rin, then it's better to not tap.
Right. So now Radu's on this weird clock where he has to pressure every turn, because if he doesn't pressure, you give your opponent a free turn to just go seal, 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 seal over and over again. But he doesn't really have a hand that does that, because a Void Lord is not enough pressure to stop your opponent playing seals.
Maybe it's even something you can speculate in, like holding back some of the cards that do like legitimately pressure somehow.
Sure.
Until the other guy rins you, so that you can like maybe stop him from playing just seal, seal, seal.
What about?
I don't know if.
What about 3 Void Lords though? So like, if Radu drops Gul'dan on turn 10 or turn 11, would that be enough pressure?
Nah.
Like, even if you have 3 Void Lords, the opponent can play 1 Void Lord and laugh at you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yep.
Like, that's how much more powerful the Warlock decks right now are at defense than offense.
Well, there'd be the hero power as well, but yeah, it doesn't seem like it quite be enough.
I mean, the Death Knight versus no Death Knight, that's the thing that could matter, yeah.
So, is AKAWonder really about to get a sweep here? Is that what's happening?
It looks like it.
He's looking favored, yeah. He even has Spellbreaker as his like tech slot where the oozes, I guess, for Radu. So Radu will have to play a Rin if he even has it, kill it himself so it doesn't get silenced, and then be like 3 or 4 seals behind, even if he draws it next turn.
I think he has Rin, because even if you have quest mates, you're not gonna want to go into a Warlock mirror and just know you've lost.
Yeah,
right. That doesn't feel very good. Like if you take a look at like the percentages you put like in some EXL program and you like put them, and then if you have one that's 0%, that just hurts your overall chance to win like the entire series, like pretty much by quite a lot. So.
And it's just looking at like the Rin versus Elise comparison as well, because I heard someone talk about this straight away. Like Rin essentially gives you 5 cards as well that scale up to a 6/6 or whatever.
That's true.
Yeah. And a 10/10.
And then a 10/10 that like eventually wins you the game. But even disregarding that, like it actually just gives you a ton of resources comparable to what Elise gives you anyway from like random cards out of the Ongoro expansion. But then it also just wins you the game at the end.
Yeah.
Like,
Don't tell anyone, but I think Elise sucks.
don't
tell anyone.
Not gonna get any.
Nobody will know. It's okay.
I won't tell anyone.
I think unless he has both, it's kind of silly.
Yeah.
To be honest.
That's the bait and switch that Crane
We'll
was
have
talking
to.
about earlier. we now know that Crane is playing Elise.
Right.
He just told us that he was going to mislead
in
us.
every deck instead of Corridor Creeper.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great when I just queue up my Sulak and you're all like, oh.
I'd respect you. I'd respect you a lot more if you did that.
Yeah. I'd respect me too a lot more. Yeah. So AK is just trying to figure out like the right amount of. Do you just play 2 seals, or do I then like maybe get pressured a bit so I can't play more seals in the future? But I mean, the seals are big enough now that I think you can just jam them,
Just
right?
dump them, right?
Yeah, I mean,
He goes with the 5.
once you get to like the 4/4 and 5/5, you're not losing enough. Oh, really?
Off.
There's actually.
Play the seals.
Yeah, come on.
Oh, is that it?
No, that's not it.
Okay.
The thing is, you can finish it next turn anyways, right?
Yeah.
Then now you're committed to playing double seal next turn, though, which I don't like about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine,
But I
right?
guess better to put more pressure down early, and the Despicable Dreadlord at least deals some damage to all these minions. Maybe Aku just plays 1 seal next turn and then 1 the turn after, and then the 10/10.
It also it sets up like a defile if you need to, I guess, in some cases, but I don't know if you need that. But nevertheless, he's probably just going to play seal next turn.
Radu could actually run into the problem here because he got the extra Void Lord from Stonehill. He's going to have 9 Void Walkers total in his pool eventually, which can give him a pretty crappy Gul'dan at the end of it.
Yeah, that happens quite a bit, actually.
It's pretty good to file. You can clean up the Dreadlord with the Mortal Coil.
Nosferatu.
There's no way he can prevent his deck from being
That's double gnome.
Yeah, now he can overdraw a bunch of cards that don't matter.
Sick River Crocs, bro!
That's not Rin. Will the next one be Rin? Oh, no, it can't.
Oh, no, that's not Rin either. Oh, unlucky.
That's why that's also a bad card.
It's okay. Radu is slowly but surely getting through AKAWonder's deck as well.
If he didn't if Akka didn't have Rin in hand or played it, then unless Radu hit exactly Rin, he would just get him closer to
Yeah,
Rin. It's
right.
not-
That's the problem.
I think overdrawing is completely misread by people.
It only matters if they're actually going to go to fatigue, which most of the time they're not.
Right, but that's also like when you present that argument to someone, the counter argument they often come back to you with is, well, a lot of decks have like one important game-winning card in it, right? And that's why you play it, because it gives you a chance to burn them out. But as Crane just explained, most of the time you're increasing their chance.
Yep.
to
You
draw
know
that
exactly
card,
when it
not
matters.
decrease it.
It's when they can win, even if that specific card is the last card in
Yeah.
the deck. That's the one time it matters.
So maybe if it's Prophet Velen or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it only matters if exactly they can win with that as their last card.
Yes. Okay.
Also, I guess if you have 2 overdraw cards, it's like second last as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Crane's just gone into a world of his
Yeah, I
own.
was just
Sounds right
wondering.
to me.
I was
Hang
just
on.
wondering if it went the other way, but I think that's right.
So,
Anyways, last
I just want to point out there is an Azoth in Radu's hand right now.
There is.
So,
But
That's new.
There is
Yeah.
there's an
not new.
Aziz Ansari in AKAWonder's hand, or whatever that card's called.
well, the Azoth gets 3 Void Lords.
Yeah, I mean, you can stop.
Yeah.
Like, you can ask the question: do you have Twisting Nether? Right.
But, like,
But and then you can ask: do you have the second one
Exactly.
by the cooldown? So
that's looking like a nice board to me.
this is like actually a chance, right?
Yeah.
This is like how you have a chance if you have both of them.
So he's going to have 6 damage coming back at him next turn if he nethers. You can pop one of the Void Lords
I think you need to seriously consider if you cannot get away with a defile here, because you really want to try to save the
That's a great point.
twisting.
So that goes to 3, that goes to 4. That's perfect. You call something first to set it off. Looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Or I'm sure with the coil you can just get it all to work.
Yep.
Should be.
It doesn't chain onto the Voidwalkers afterwards, though. I don't think there's anything left to proc and kill the Voidwalkers afterwards, but that's not a big deal. Like, you have plenty of health still.
I mean, even leaving the board with a bunch of 1/3s would be great for you, because then you can actually just clear everything.
Right. He's doing it with Blood
So that
Mage
goes to
instead.
5.
Oh, sure.
So that goes to 5. He's going to pop that first. Kills these Voidwalkers. Oh yeah, this is actually a little bit better than what I was looking at. Good spot from Wonder.
But
Wait, no, it isn't.
There was nothing on 4.
Like-
I was thinking there's nothing on
Yeah.
4.
Yeah, okay, so you just go 5 into one of the Void Lords, 6 into
wasn't it
one of
better
the...
to coil the 6/6? That goes to
No.
4. 1, 2, 3.
You just trade a 5 into one of the Void Lords, trade the 6 into one of the Void Lords, coil one of the 2/2s, and then
Yeah.
defile, and then that sweeps everything apart from the
Wait.
N'Zoth.
We're falling
Why-
down a very
how do you have something
rabbit
at
hole
4
at the
then?
moment, guys.
I know,
The
seriously.
defile
Because you've
math rabbit
attacked
hole.
a
are
5
definitely
attack
not
minion
quick.
into a 3/9.
No quick maths here.
There's a game going on.
Oh, sure, you leave that. 3/9, yeah. Okay.
Radu just trying to find.
But you could also do
pressure
it my way,
to
which was
prevent-
better than what he did. as well.
Obviously, it was better.
But your way was better.
to prevent Azari
I think there were
from down, but it's
decent
not.
amount of things that were better.
I think Defile is probably the most misplayed card in Hearthstone. Like, at a high level, it's still super hard to get right consistently.
It was a difficult turn, but I think he threw the game on not getting it right.
Yeah.
Can he defend himself? Is there any way?
I think now he gets out pressured. Like
Yeah, definitely.
when he messed up the defile clear. Like
If he nethers, he's dead because of the 6 Void Walkers and the Hellfire.
wait, actually was Nether just better because you fill the board with 1/3s?
Yeah, it was better
Then
than
they
leaving
can't
him.
go down at least. Well, yeah, it was better than this, but I mean,
Yeah.
it was a complicated turn. He probably just thought that it would clear, right? Like,
Yeah.
you don't do this unless you.
This is where it matters what 1 attack, 2 attack, and 3 attack minions are still in AKAWonder's deck.
Yeah.
Because he could get enough defense from that card to come back, but Twisting Nether doesn't do it. I don't think anything else does.
We just drew the Tar Creeper, which is annoying.
Oh, that with
Yeah.
Siphon
Is that-
Soul, actually, on the N'Zoth, as far as he's concerned, keeps him in the game.
Yeah. Oh no, just
Gonna
going for
play
this.
Oka.
Well, this pulls a Void Lord, right? So yeah,
Only
this is,
Void Lord.
This is better than just playing.
So Siphon, Hellfire, then you got
Two Hellfires
Lethal.
now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Siphon Hellfire, connect face with everything but the N'Zoth. You are Gucci.
Hey, it is not. It's not a sweep.
Well, I got really close to being one.
Yeah.
Rin not quite managing to carry AKAWonder to victory, though.
I think we're seeing some serious upsets here. Like I'd put AK as the favorite in this matchup, right? Like N'Zoth.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
N'Zoth is not really supposed to get you there.
Well, it was the
Right.
pressure. It came down at the right time to prevent the 10-mana card from coming down.
Well, I mean, so we saw it. What was supposed to happen, right, is that the N'Zoth came down, but because the Warlock hadn't got any pressure up until that point, AKAWonder hadn't been forced to use any removal. So he had all his removal left. He could have found whatever clear he wanted. Then the Gul'dan comes down. He still has Nether, right? Like, it was totally fine. It's just he messed up the Defile clear, and it cost him the game.
Yeah. I mean, he probably just like, I can't figure out this Defile clear, like just like Nether. Like that's what.
That's what I'd
that
have
would have
done.
been better at least.
Yeah. It's like I can't figure this out. Just push the Nether button.
You want to do the fancy Devile play on stream, right?
Yeah, you
Like,
look really
Pop-Chan.
cool.
Not if it goes wrong, you don't.
Well, yeah, then
Then
you're
you just
stupid.
look
Well,
silly.
yeah, but you don't want to be the guy that didn't figure out the Defile play.
You want chat to be full of PogChamps, not fail fishes.
Do you think chat figured out the Defile play?
Oh, chat is infallible when it comes to Hearthstone.
Yeah.
They figure out everything. They
Innovate.
spot every lethal.
There just has to be one guy that figures it out in Twitch chat, right? Then they all figure it out.
Then they all
Yeah,
spam
Is this easy big?
It's got an innovate in there.
Eh.
In fact, two
It,
innovates.
it could also be, and this is kind of also something AKA would do, could also be Miracle.
Oh, the
Good.
Miracle, yeah, sure.
Because that's the only other deck that plays Innovate, as far as I know.
Sure.
Or does the Barnabas stuff, does that play Innovate?
The Mali deck?
Well, you can do it in some different ways, but
I don't think it
but
does.
the Barnabas version, I don't think it does play Innovate either. But
Yeah.
Because you actually don't need a lot of mana to make the Barnabas deck work anymore. Because you have the 5/1 that rattles into a 5/1. That's completing your quest
and you
cheaply
can
for
pull
you.
that as well with the 4 mana.
Right. And then your deck costs 0. So you don't actually need a lot of mana to make anything work.
I think like everybody knew that most people knew that the new Druid Legendary had potential to somehow see play, like that there would be a busted combo with it.
Yep.
The 2 for the copies any minute you play. And well, this deck actually does that. I haven't tried it, but it looks... Yeah. It looks not that bad.
Yeah. A lot of people at the beginning were like, "Oh, you can do it with Twig of the World Tree, like last charge." But like, I was like, "That's stupid," and never looked at the combo again. Like,
Yeah. Someone said, "Oh, there's this Mali OTK deck to me." I was like, "Right, how does it work?" And they said, "Okay, so Twig of the World Tree." And then I was like, "Okay, so to be clear, you're equipping Twig of the World Tree, attacking with it 4 times, not dying in the meantime, and then you're OTKing them with."
Wait,
Mali."
4 times? It's only 4 times?
well,
I'll tell you something I learned the other day is that if you get Trigger the World Tree in Rogue, it's pretty busted.
yeah, that one's pretty good.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
hear.
the other Mali OTK with all the faceless effects seems a lot more powerful.
Well, this isn't that deck, because for a start, we haven't actually...
No,
seen
it's
the
Big
play.
Druid.
So yeah, it is going to be, as prediction
Yeah.
number 1, easy big, easy Druid.
I really wish it was
Do we
Quest Druid
really-
because Barnabas is just like a cool name to say.
Do we really still know that it's not Miracle?
The Deathwing Dragon Lord.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Easy then.
Then yes.
Oh, it's not a Deathwing. That's the Ultimate Infestation.
I was going to say, where is this invisible Deathwing?
I don't know. Just from my angle, it looks really dark, and it looked like a Deathwing Dragon Lord.
Yeah. So we're not sure yet, right?
No.
Okay. Still not sure.
Is the 1-mana spell being played in Big Druid at the moment?
The Spellstone?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
I actually don't.
That feels like...
It's
Gadget and
definitely
Auctioneer.
it hasn't been in the list that I've seen, but like I don't know how Wonder would build it.
I don't know. I would
It'd be better
lean
in like
towards the
Miracle,
spell.
right?
Yeah, with
Yeah,
Auctioneer.
maybe you're right.
But all these cards could except for the Spellstone, like all the other cards are just all the time in the big. So it's only the Spellstone that's kind of making us
Right.
Yeah.
think that it might not be big. But I think it's so AKA, man.
It really is. That's literally the only thing throwing us off.
Yeah.
If it was any other player, right?
The man who once brought a full Cthulhu lineup to playoffs.
Yeah, and actually succeeded.
Yep.
Guy's-
he
guy's
did
a
want
master.
cycle.
Master with good Christmas spirit today as well. He's got the hat on.
Oh, what did he mill something we should have noticed with the Noperado?
Nah, no way.
I don't know.
It never
I
hits
wasn't
anything
looking.
good.
That would be funny if you just discard like a big boy.
There's 4 of us casting that. Did anyone catch that? Anyone? No?
I was
No?
busy talking
All
about
right,
something.
Great.
I was busy listening to Crane talk.
Some,
Good job, guys.
Yeah.
There was some bad tech card that I had to talk about.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. He'd call something bad.
Yeah.
Nope. No.
Unlucky.
Can't even find it in history.
Unlucky. Okay.
We're going to build something irrelevant and act like we're good casters, right?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, now it's Miracle, right?
Ah,
Yep.
I called it.
You did. You nailed it.
Easy.
good job, Crane. The Spellstone was a bit of a tip, but
I called it before that.
you did call it before then.
No, I didn't. I just said there was a chance. And it's just so AKA, like it's...
You just had the soul read. You're like, yeah, AKAWonder. That guy's a Miracle Druid player every time.
Every time. Known Miracle Druid player.
He brings interesting decks, right?
Interesting.
Most of the time.
decks.
That's the nicest way I can put it.
That's caster speak right
I mean,
there.
you
You're learning.
You can just call him bad, I guess, right? It's SeatStory.
But they're not always bad. Just most of the time.
All right, so what do you think about this Miracle Druid deck? Is this bad? He's got 2 UIs.
It's
that
not-
card's good.
I would not say it's bad. I've played this deck. I would not say it's bad. That's all you're going to get.
Okay.
That's a
All
lot
right,
of restraint
sure.
there.
A glowing testimony from Crane.
I mean, I have to play myself. I have Druid in my lineup.
Yeah.
Ooh, he actually managed to upgrade the Spellstone just by hero powering. That's how bad his draw has been.
It's 3 hero powers, right?
Yep.
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 Not a great start. Against the deck that will just overwhelm you with N'Zoth.
Hero powering in a non-inspired deck is not great. Actually, hero powering in an inspired deck was never good.
That wasn't good either.
Hero powering in Raza Priest is pretty good.
Yep. That's the only inspire in my life.
Very inspirational.
You disgust me. Dirty Raza
Me
Priest
too.
player.
It's the best.
God, she annoys me.
Do you have Nemesis?
I do, yeah. It's one of the only role player heroes that I do have. Because I was just at BlizzCon and I figured I might as well, you know. It was pretty low effort.
Yeah.
I actually don't have Nemesis yet.
Unlucky.
Are we gonna
Bad
try with the Defile again?
Are we gonna try?
But there's no 4
Ghost-
health minion again.
But it's you don't need to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's just funny that 4 is just the bad number in this matchup for this pile in this series. That's my Fury. Now we can start upgrading that Spellstone much faster. I mean, this does it
Yeah.
too.
So it's actually just like
So-
fully upgraded.
Most likely he hits a Tyrant here, right? So you can play for free. Oh,
Yep.
it's the
There
one.
you go.
Yes.
2 Gadgets and Auctioneers right next to each other. All right.
I think he can play Gadgets and a cheap Giant next turn.
So for anyone who hasn't
6, 1,
actually
2, 3.
seen
Yeah,
this
easy.
deck,
Easy giant.
what is the win condition here? For anyone that hasn't seen this deck watching at the moment.
Yeah, you play a ton of idols at some point with the second Gadgeton.
Right.
It's like basically against some decks. I mean, against some decks you can heal as well and play Giants like Giants. And
Yeah, you can just like tempo a lot of times.
versus Warlock, it's the Jade, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there just one Jade Idol in this deck?
Yeah,
Just
you
keep
usually.
shuffling the one? Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all you need.
So this has the double Earthen Scales. I'm trying to think because I saw a list. I think it was Sanananan who had it, and I'm trying to think whether he had double Earthen Scales because then it could just be a complete. We just copied it, right?
Right. Well, the expansion's not been out for that long. It's a bit of a tall ask to expect every player to bring 5 of their own decks.
But most like usually at least you play it yourself, so
Yeah.
you might have tinkered with it anyways. Like usually you do that.
So going off. Second Innovate now means he can potentially play both giants if he picks up the second one as well.
He's just gonna draw his deck.
Yep.
Right.
3, 4. Yep. Unless if he plays the Wrath, then I think that's no longer a possibility, right? Yeah. Well, actually it is because
yeah,
you
no,
can
no,
stay
yeah.
4 spells still.
Yeah, he has 4 1-mana spells, so he could do it. But even then, like, you're wondering Is he going to commit? Does he want to commit any more than this into, Twisting Nether turn, potentially?
Well, yeah, I mean, you can just hold back the Giant, but you definitely play all the spells.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's pretty cute that Spellstone also works with the scales. I mean, there are a lot of ways to activate the Spellstones in these type of decks.
Do you play all the spells, actually?
Why not?
Do you ever need removal to stop?
The thing is, if you don't play all the spells, then maybe the next Gadgetzan won't be able to just cycle the idol like you want. Like, you want to be really, really deep in your deck when you play the second Gadgetzan with all the stuff.
Radu's big threats don't start coming down until turn 10, really, anyway. There's the Gul'dan and the N'Zoth. If Akka can create this huge board of minions first, he shouldn't need much removal.
The N'Zoth is, for this deck, is a little bit scary, yeah. Like that's the thing. I don't think there's anything that a normal, or like a non-N'Zoth Warlock deck can really do. I think Gul'dan is not even enough pressure.
It's just going to Malfurion and start punching him. I like this play. Just get the repetitive damage going.
Yep. Just hit him in the head, right?
Yeah. It's so great to just get the 3 damage up return while not having to commit more minions, right?
Yeah.
Like, Druid Death Knight is insane.
Huh. Seems pretty convenient.
Yeah, but if you're playing the Warlock side here, you still feel really bad about the spot because you're at 9, and at some point you need to like find time to be proactive as well.
Yeah,
right.
But yeah, the Void Lord was probably gonna have to be played next turn.
Now he's got the second Twisting Nether. At least he can afford to use one a little bit earlier and then another one later on.
Wonder has so many refills though. Like he has UI Tyrant as well as a refill. He has the Giants as a refill. Probably not in that order. But
depends how much he wants to commit, because you also want to not just let your opponent play a Void Lord without at least feeling a bit scared or something.
Yeah.
So it's always a bit tricky. But if you do commit too much, then you actually get punished by the...
Do you ever get away with just dropping Void Lord into this board?
Maybe you have to, right? It just feels so bad to play another earlier.
Yeah, I agree. What are you dead to if you just drop Void Man?
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, maybe this is the time.
There's that one Jade Idol.
So Spell Zone deals 6. Yeah, you can't really push much.
Such an obnoxious card.
Yeah.
The thing also, by the way, is that there are no swipes in this type of deck.
Right.
So, which if you are aware of that, you don't have to be too scared, honestly, about burst.
Right.
So,
I'm gonna throw some shots at Tic Tac real quick. When this card was revealed, Void Lord, I tweeted like, "Wow, this thing's huge. This seems pretty solid." And he responded like, "Nah, this seems bad. It should cost 7."
but
I was like, "What is wrong with you?"
But by the way, I'm just saying, like, if we'd been 2 cards deeper in our decks, it would have been much more comfortable to play the Jade Idol, right?
It's fair.
Naturalize.
Just saying, and he's out of Innovate as well, so there's not gonna be that many idle cycle, but he still has Nourish and UI. So I think
wait. Naturalize.
Naturalize speeds things up a lot.
Naturalize Hero Power, one of the 4/3s. Don't have the mana. He doesn't have it. No.
He's almost there, though.
He's almost there. And again, if he was able to start that turn with some of those cards in his hand because he was deeper off cycling more cards, then he would have been able to allocate without the Auctioneer and been able to punch through.
Well, one of the cards was Spellstone. I guess like keeping Spellstone was maybe fair, but
oh, he only got one of those attacks in.
Keeping the Earthen Scales was weird to me.
I wonder if that 1 damage that Akka missed is going to be relevant.
Did he miss the damage though?
I believe the rightmost Scarab didn't attack.
Okay.
Never matters. It's never punish.
I mean, you just have to Nether at this point, right?
Well, this turn you have to.
Does he play the Mistress as well?
I think he's just thinking about whether he plays Mistress and Dark thingy.
Yeah.
Dark Pact as well as the
Dark Pact,
wow.
yeah.
I do love week 1 casting because no one knows what the card is. I don't care who you are.
Trinity was particularly entertaining.
Yeah. It's weird because actually the more higher level player you are, the less you care about what the cards are called.
Yeah.
You just care about what they do, which is why you end up just saying like, "Oh, spell damage, man, 4 or 5 man." Like it's just what the card does. That's what's relevant to you.
because like you risk that if you use the proper word and the other guys don't know, then you're wasting time and you're wasting like confusing each other. So.
Well, we heard that from LOL, right? Like, one of them said creeper, and then they thought it was talking about tar creeper, not corridor creeper, and then they got in a mess.
So I was playing Zoo with Pavel last week on my account, and Pavel hadn't actually looked at the cards yet, and so he kept like the opponent would play a card, and he'd be like, "Wait, what's that card do?" I'd have to go and mouse over the sidebar, and he'd spend a moment reading it, and then say, "Oh, that's good."
Jeez. How much do you kind of still want to get to more idols, right? Because you want to cycle at least one more time before you can use the UI as well.
Yeah.
I guess he has time. I'm just wondering if maybe it's better to not commit the Maya Keeper as well and like do the Wild Growth cycle. I don't know.
Does anyone know how many Void Lords Radu's played this game?
It was just one.
Just the one?
Yeah.
That kind of sucks then.
Death is eternal. My turn is not.
Nice. Do you bypass the hero power? Just to get that done, give yourself UI options?
It feels really weird because I want to hit him.
Yeah, like, the thing is, you're not going to UI next turn, right? Anyways.
Well, you can, right? You can move.
I don't think you want to. I think you want to cycle more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't you? This is like just my instinct.
So, does Radu have to just get that Void Lord out of his deck now with Lackey? No, he's going to play them as well.
So might be.
That is a lot more than.
Oh, there's two Void Lords. There you go.
Right.
That explains it.
Pro players, by the way.
That's what I get for trusting you guys.
I wasn't sure either.
Well, that's a board.
It's a very big board.
A tangled web.
How do you even get through this? Do you ever get through this?
It's gonna take like a couple turns, but
yeah,
it's usually fine.
If Radu comes back from this now, this is an incredible performance. He's still got cooldown in his deck. If he draws that after this board gets cleared, then he's actually in with a shot.
So you kind of want to start making Jades as well, so because you just play 2 Jade cards and a Maya Q. Like, you don't need to shuffle this now, right? You actually kind of need to play some idols. Yeah, I also don't think it matters if you go into fatigue a couple of turns.
No.
Yeah.
So I think you need to deal with this board first.
Yeah,
I think I would summon it for 4.
Yeah, me too. You need to make a board that actually punches through, because like, Warlock can't just punish you by AoEing this, because if they AoE you, they're AoE symmetrical, so they're doing the job for you anyway, right? Like, Hellfire sucks here, Twisting Nether sucks here.
Like, you can always play a big board into this type of board. Actually, Nassau's doing, like, a lot better in these matchups than I thought. I mean, in the mirror, I don't think it should do anything, but...
Neither of these spellstones have been upgraded, have they?
What? Oh, the Warlock.
In Radu's hand. Because if they were dealing 5 damage, then the Mortal Coil would actually be able to take out an Arcane Giant. No, they haven't been.
Yeah. Like, that's what we were talking about earlier. There are not that many triggers for it in the newer versions.
This works too. Guess the healing doesn't.
I don't know why I checked the right one there as well, but I don't know what world the right one gets upgraded when the left one hasn't.
Well, they've got the same image.
You know, just being thorough.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like that. Do you want to check them again now, Saucy?
No, I'm good.
Both left one and then the right one.
This was a fun clearing turn, right? You're like left wondering, who did that help the most?
Right. Yeah.
Like, I feel if I was a druid, I was really annoyed about that board. But
something about like making big boards, they're usually like super hard to deal with, and trying to figure out like the best way to deal with. And sometimes you're just like, all right, let's just get rid of all of this. I don't know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
This isn't the fastest board of Jades now for AKAWonder, though. He can only play 3. He can only play 2 this turn if he wants to keep going.
One thing that comes into play here as well is like 1 big Jade per turn is not that threatening, right? And he is out of cycle. So after he's like shuffled, played a couple, and then played a couple, or like
right.
Nemferatu is actually really helpful here as well.
Yeah.
I think the Warlock is this?
I can't
RDU
believe that
hit-
we're saying this, but yeah.
I think it looks pretty done to me. And like going back to the last turn as well, like RDU might have just spent that turn simplifying the game, essentially. Just saying like, okay, if every card interacts with every card, who wins?
Yeah.
And if the answer to that comes out in his head as RDU wins, then yeah, just nether the board, right? Like, just simplify the game.
This
and
is
let it
like
play out.
basically a fixed scenario, right?
Right.
Where he probably knows exactly what AKAWonder has left. So he can actually calculate if he just wins every time by doing something. And that's something you might sometimes do. And it's easier to calculate the lines where you, like you said, simplify things.
Yeah.
So
I've done this as well.
Radu just needs to draw Gul'dan now to lock this one out.
Yeah, pretty much.
He doesn't necessarily even need it
Well, he's
because
going to get it.
after we've I mean he will get there, but after we've spent so much time smack talking Gnome Ferratu can actually break this game.
Yeah, it's insane.
If AKAWonder doesn't play around it.
Even if he does play around
Shane
it,
gang
it
is
still
insane.
reduces the amount of Jades that Akka can summon.
And then RDU can always just draw Gul'dan, and everything he brings back has stun.
Yep.
Like, he's never getting through.
He brings back a bunch of Voidwalkers and then a bunch of Voidwalkers in trench coats. And he's good.
I mean, the thing is, you can still technically go infinite as the Jade, but one Jade per turn. And he can't even play one Jade per turn, right? At some point, he has to shuffle.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
that's going to be one turn sooner because of the Gnome
And
Ferratu.
so, but probably he's gonna play as many as he can before shuffling or something like this.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
So,
saying about playing around the
Ferratu.
Gnome Ferratu, though, right? Because he has to leave 2 in
Yeah,
his
yeah.
deck to
Yeah.
actually be able to go infinite. And even then, like, we saw double. One Gnome's already been played, though, by Radu, right? Which burned a mystery card.
Yeah, the only card left is the...
I'm guessing was a Moonfire now, because I think we've only seen one Moonfire.
Yeah, sounds about right.
We should try and pay attention next game. If,
Nah.
No way.
SeatStory, mate. Chilling.
It was very interesting what we were talking about. Is there any way that we just no?
No.
No.
Blood Reaver Gul'dan says no. Correct.
And
So do those Spellstones, those 7 damage,
he has
4 mana,
a
lifesteal
decent amount of healing as
Spellstones.
well.
There you go. Everything has stun.
There's no way.
There's a button on the bottom right of your screen.
Yeah.
It's staring at you.
The thing is, Radu doesn't have that much pressure. The Jade Golems can deal with one of these Void Lords, meaning it only summons one Void Walker.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting, by the way, about the sequencing of how, like, as the Druid deck, how you cycle. Like, if you have your Gadget Sands at the end, that's probably better than having your UI/Nurse at the end, right? Because
Sotzel
they
is
do the
very
trick.
violently rubbing the mouse
He's died.
over
He is dead.
the one card.
He has-
do you
he has-
want to mouse over the other important card here, Sotzel?
You mean this guy?
There
This
we
guy
go.
right here?
Alright.
There we go.
Yeah.
Nosferatu, good card.
Burn your card, man. I
Yeah,
believe
what were
is
you
that
saying
card's
earlier,
actually-
Crane, about Nosferatu?
He already knew he was going to queue AKAWonder first, and knew he was going to play Miracle Druid, and knew this exact scenario would happen.
I think this
That's
is
just how much of a master he is.
yeah. I think we just see some of these very fringe scenarios that.
Well, we're going to end up with Rogue versus Control Warlock. And actually now, despite the horrible start that Radu had, I think this might be a reverse sweep.
Just gonna nether Gnome, right? Because Wonder's already ticked twice for fatigue, so he goes back into 3 fatigue now when he starts taking damage, I believe.
Oh, the reaction
Yeah.
from Wonder, he didn't know.
He saw it. He knew.
Yeah, I know he knew, but he hadn't remembered, I mean.
I mean, he
He
was trying to find a way to win, and
He was just hoping the card like disappeared in between games.
He changed deck, right?
Exactly,
Radu's
there
just
you go.
cheating, it's fine.
Yeah. But there's
Yeah, your opponent's cheating is the line.
there's no way. Like the hero powers wash here, but like Radu can just play minions and start spellstoning them himself, and it's that just ends the game.
Radu doesn't have to play minions though.
Yeah.
Just pass, or like shoot and pass. If he wants to.
Essentially, he can do whatever he pleases.
Yeah,
and he
Radu's
wins
hero
the
power is
game.
still better because Akka gets attack or armor.
Yeah.
Radu gets both, essentially. And there you go, that's the game. Radu tying up the series.
I mean, I imagine if you bring this druid, you think that this is a lock versus a warlock, right? Like, why else would you bring this type of druid? You bring it because you think I'm gonna beat the warlock with this. But I'm not sure if the way that he like changed his cycle
Yeah.
was optimal. Because, like you saw, you need to go have some big Jades at the end, and you need to have cycle for your Jade cards at the end as well with this deck. So I'm not sure if like just playing Gachisan cycle, and having UI and Nourish at the end was the way to go. And I also am not sure if he I think you need to have a bigger Jade turn, like on the second Gachisan.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
Even though I think like the auctioneer turn, when I was asking like, do you cast all the spells? I was trying to get to the spellstone actually being used as removal through a Void Lord to be able to push.
Right.
So if he'd have just cast the Earthen Scales there and held on to the spellstone, I think he could have had lethal on that turn where he pushed through the Void Lord, because he would have drawn the naturalize naturally that turn and would have had like full mana to just smash through everything.
it's definitely interesting. Like, that's a super complicated deck to play.
100%.
And there's almost no way that he played it perfect. I mean, no matter who played it, there's no way you played
There's no way that
perfectly.
anyone is playing any new deck perfectly.
No,
It's not
There
how it
might be games with like a tempo deck where you actually played perfectly.
works. All right.
Easy.
Speaking of tempo decks,
No, I think so. But that deck, I
AKAWonder.
don't think so.
so do you guys think Warlock is a big favorite in this one?
It should be, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, they kill your dudes.
If he
Put
draws
thumbs
a
up.
lackey, right? Like
Yeah.
3/9, hello. The rogue needs Spellbreaker, otherwise he's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even this hand from Radu here, like the Kobold Librarian is going to buff the Spellstone, so that's 4 mana, deal 5 damage, lifesteal. That kills a Scalebane, kills a Bone Mare, whatever you like.
Kills a 0 mana corridor creeper
Kills
for,
the
for net -4 tempo.
Right, okay.
Okay, so
Librarian immediately hitting the board there.
It's such a nice feeling to have Spellstone in your hand when you draw, because like sometimes you're looking at that thing on turn 1. It's like, well, I want this on the board to contest a little bit, but then I also want it to buff my Spellstone later.
You know what's even nicer is when you draw the Spellstone with the Librarian.
Oh, yeah, that's
It gets the
beautiful.
proc.
or the Spellstone with the UI. That's also a good feeling.
Right.
Yeah.
Other Spellstone, but yeah.
The Spellstone, Falk. The one and only Spellstone.
I mean,
There is no
class-
others.
Tell that to Big Priest.
the
okay?
class that casts UI usually plays the Druid Spellstone.
You never see a priest get played.
Well,
Right?
no, in this tournament, there's just big red X's next.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
This is the first round, the first series of the first group, and we're like, there might be people that don't ban Priest.
I think so.
This is
No way.
okay. So this is kind of unlikely to matter because I think Priest will be mostly banned. But the Priest list that we're not going to see, do you think they're mostly Raza Dragons, or big?
I think all of those decks are broken.
I agree.
Yeah.
I saw, talking to people yesterday, I get the impression there might be a lot of Big Priest.
I think top 10 legend right now, there is a lot of big Priest
Right.
hanging
Yep.
around. So.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to ask yourself, like, that's the eternal question. What lineup are they playing if they're not banning my Priest? That's the eternal question of the,
That
of
is a
the
great point.
obvious ban.
Uh-huh.
And then whatever you come up with as the answer there will affect which deck you think is the best.
So what you're saying is you should play Grand Archivist Tempo Priest because that's the one they would be expecting.
That,
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
absolutely.
Nobody's playing for that.
Okay.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Wow. Crane's got jokes all of a sudden. What the hell?
That's not a joke. That's a
He's
that's
had them
a-
the
That's a
entire time.
quote.
It's a
Just
quote.
just
It doesn't
reference.
count.
Yeah,
It's not
okay.
not the same thing.
Yeah, there is a lot of Void Lords in Wonder's future.
Yeah, this game is going pretty much
Well,
about as you'd expect it to.
I mean,
There is an
it's
unwilling
not that nice to
sacrifice.
get them in your hand, though.
You don't tap, right? Is there any reason to tap?
No, he just waits and plays the lackey on 5.
I'm fairly sure you have all the cards you
But
need right now.
If he doesn't want to draw the second White Lord, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
why,
so you
that's
don't
why
tap.
you don't
Exactly.
tap. Yeah.
It's like,
It's
just
frustrating.
need to get to turn 5
Yeah, no, I like
without
that.
drawing
Seen
the
the
Void
lines.
Lord and then kill off your guy. If he draws the Void Lord, he's going to be one sad Radu.
Remember that Spellstone we were talking about earlier? That's looking okay now.
Ooh.
Maybe you don't even play it. Maybe you save it.
Nah, if you kill it, it's dead. But the thing is, like, this is the most obvious turn to play it, to cash it in, because you want to have time to play the likely
That's
next
true,
turn.
that's true.
Like, that's the important part. And if you tank damage,
I was trying to think,
Maybe
is there
that's
any way you
scary.
can save it for a Scalebane or
Yeah.
something? But you're right. Like,
usually when you have a fixed play next turn, which is very slow on tempo, you need to take the tempo you can take this turn.
Yep.
That's
only-
just a general rule.
The only risk I see with killing the 3/3, and I use the word risk very loosely, is if Wonder's turn was then like 1/2, 1/2, 1/2, 1/2, and then you play a 2/2 and you don't have anything to trade it into to summon a Void Lord. But at that point, your opponent only has 4 damage on
Yeah,
the board.
if
So
Aka's never playing any minion with more than one attack,
You
I don't
can
think you're
literally
complaining.
defile or
Attack and
siphon your
defile,
own. Like
yeah, right.
it's so that's not even a concern in this with the hand we see here.
Yep.
Yeah, AK is slowly realizing that he's dead.
I mean, you can still draw the
Yeah.
Void Lord, right?
Yeah. Like you just have to hope he draws the second Void Lord.
Yep.
No.
Oh,
That's.
This is just wrong, right?
yeah. Oh, unwilling sacrifice. There you go.
I guess actually unwilling sacrifice probably justifies it.
Sure. Does it though?
Oh, and
what-
you
what
okay?
was
You,
his
you
other
don't
turn?
you don't want to do this next turn because you want to coin Bone Mare next turn.
Yeah, I mean, what was his turn this turn, anyways?
Yeah, no, you're fine. You're right. This is fine.
Does it work? Yeah, you can even coin and this.
That's pretty
But
good.
then you can't bone, man.
Found a Void Lord killer.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
But do you have something for the bone? How likely is it that you have something for your bone mail?
I'd say pretty unlikely, especially because your next turn looks really bad.
No, but I mean, if you keep the coin, like
Yeah.
how likely are you to
Oh.
coin bone mail and stick it on something? I think that's the question you gotta ask if you.
I mean, there's no
think
way.
about
Like, there's no way it sticks, right? Like this SI.
Well, you play a 1/2 as well, right?
Yeah.
So, not very likely. I mean, I think. But on the other hand, like, do you really kill a 1/2 with a siphon? Or,
Right.
Because otherwise, how are you doing it? It's hard to say. I don't know how often it gets cleared.
Wow.
Is this worth it?
Well,
Is it ever better to just Shadow Step the Flame Elemental so you can make a board on turn 7?
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
You just hope it lives.
Okay.
Like, but putting a Bone May effect on something that can't attack that turn is not very good against a deck like
That's
Warlock.
true.
Sure.
Yeah.
Or most decks, actually.
That's fair. So Aka is able to put in 7 damage with the 3/3 here.
Can Bloodhoof, for anyone that wasn't paying attention.
Yep.
I actually caught that one.
Yeah, we saw
we
that
were
one.
all on it this
Okay.
time.
I saw it as well.
Good. Siphon Coil would end the game if the second Void Lord wasn't in his hand right now, but it is.
Right.
Probably still do it, right? And just take whatever he plays against your second Void Lord next turn. He's just going to Nether
Yeah.
instead.
Just,
I guess
just
it's fine.
blow up the board.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
There's like a ton of good plays here.
I
like this one.
Siphon him more.
Yeah.
Quite a lot more.
The board dies one way or another.
And you say,
You get, like,
Tempo Rogue, try and play a board that contests a Void Lord next turn. Because you now know it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't get summoned. So
And-
good luck, God bless.
Unless Radu's cheating again and changing his cards, then
So what did we
there's
learn?
still
In
a
this,
second Void Lord in the
what
deck.
did we learn in this series? Warlock is good.
Yes.
Did we learn that now? We've probably known that for a few days already.
No, we just learned that.
Okay, thanks, Crane.
Also, make sure your defilers are right.
Yeah.
Make sure you can count to 6.
Yeah. I know I'm definitely gonna mess up
Oh.
at some point with defile.
Good turn 9.
Yeah, I'm scared to play Defile now, actually, after
Exactly.
how butchered they're gonna get.
Speaking of Defile.
There we go.
Hearthstone script writers,
It all
as
comes
always.
full circle.
Yeah, fully on point. Best script writers in the business.
Any way that...
So you need to put it on the 5/6, right? Otherwise you have a... no, actually, I'm stupid.
Just a little bit.
Thanks for the update.
For some reason, I thought the 5/5 would end up on 4 health and be dealing a lot of damage with Defile.
So we've learned in this series that
I
Warlock's
can't
good and
count.
Crane is stupid.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes.
Well, we learned
Well,
that
the
I
view-
can't count either, so I should probably take care when I get a Defile.
While we're memeing, by the way, this Defile is actually pretty sick.
It is when you... But then you look at the
5/6
cooldown.
lives. That's
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
we're not looking at that, all right?
From
That
from
doesn't matter.
Wander's perspective, this gives him the tiniest piece of hope that he might be able to get out of this. But there are 2 more Voidwalker Adult Mans in his future.
If he had another Swashbuckler in his deck, he
Adult
would get the
man.
second Defile.
It's 3 Voidwalkers in a
in a
trench
trench
coat.
coat. Yeah.
Voidwalker Adult Man.
What?
Oh my god.
I thought we were just playing cooldown. To be
I also thought we were just playing Gul'dan.
He can literally do anything.
Yeah, it
it
doesn't matter
honestly
too
just
much.
doesn't matter.
He's just trying to make Wonder feel bad.
Exactly.
That's what he's doing.
Is Leroy Shadow Step lethal? Nope. Whatever. Okay.
Yeah, who cares? How long will this go on?
Pickaxe.
What?
I appreciate your knowledge of memes.
I'm not sure, like, why we cleared last turn. This turn we don't clear. I guess now he's like, okay, I should have done it last turn. Let's do it now.
Who cares? Just let him play some Hearthstone, all right? He's a kid in a candy store.
So many good cards to play. So much gold.
You know what would be better? If all these Voidwalkers had charge and duplicated themselves when they attacked into things.
Yeah, that would be better.
That sounds like a fun deck.
No.
No.
You can't give the Voidwalkers charge. At least make it another minion enabling them.
Right, like a 3-mana 2/3 or
Yeah,
something.
sounds good.
Yeah, okay.
All right, well, that's going to be the series. Radu getting the reverse sweep. What an impressive comeback. I honestly didn't think he had a chance after losing the first two games.
Yeah.